Hello, Bella Vista. This is JB Portillo. Welcome to In the Know. This program is produced after each monthly board meeting to give you a summary of the topics and the events going on at the Property Owners Association. In addition, these episodes are posted on the Facebook pages of the POA as well as the Bella Vista Community TV station. So sit back and enjoy being in the know. Welcome back. JB Portillo here with another In the Know. And as always, my co-host, my guest, whatever you want to be, the COO of the POA, Tom Judson.
How are you today?
I am great because it's almost time for the holidays. We had a great board meeting.
Yeah.
Things are just looking up.
I agree completely.
Yeah. You know, I was really impressed with your celebrating success this time. There were two really, well, they're always worthy, but I was very, very impressed with them. So tell us about that.
So the first one is Whitney, who works up at Lake Point, and she's actually your next guest.
Yes.
So you can talk with her directly. But we had a really nice veterans, free meal for veterans on November 11th. Mm-hmm. And she noticed that a lot of veterans were coming in on their own to take advantage of the meal and celebrate the day and so forth. So she took it upon herself. She put a table together and had all the single people show up and put them all together, and they could, share stories and have good fellowship. And it was just kind of a spontaneous idea that came out, mm-hmm. and that's great. That's what we want.
Well, that's kind of how she is,
Yeah. Yeah. And now the second one is really, really pretty impressive. So Wendy at Burksdale, she mm-hmm. works in our maintenance department. She noticed that a vehicle, which was northbound on the highway, swerved. Fortunately, the bypass, took all the trucks off the road, but swerved and went into that pond there and was partially submerged. And so she ran over very quickly, jumped in the water, helped the person out of their vehicle. Really helped them out mm-hmm. in their time of need, and didn't think twice about her own safety. Just jumped in. So that was really pretty special.
Yes. Well, thank you for celebrating success, because we're very much in need of all of the wonderful things they do every day, and the special things that happen.
Well, we want to recognize when they go above and beyond. And both of these are great examples of people going above and beyond. But these are the standards that we're setting. Mm-hmm. This is what we want to see out of our employees.
Absolutely. Well, we also had a very good, productive board meeting. Mm-hmm. So I know you have several things you want to talk about. The budget was approved, and so tell us what we can expect this next year.
So we have a good budget that was approved, and I don't want to get into all the detail mm-hmm. because, you can look at the work session from 2 weeks ago, which was an hour long, and you can get so much detail about the budget. But let's talk about the fun stuff for the budget that's going to directly impact our property owners in a very positive way. I mean, they don't want to know if we're going to buy this piece of equipment or that piece of equipment. They don't, it's important. But let's talk about the fun stuff.
Let's do.
So the first one is the Gear Garden. So we opened that this year, and it was wildly successful. We recouped our entire investment, bottom line, in 2 months. And so we want to go in, and we're going to be open entire season this year. And so we're going to, those picnic tables are 40 some odd years old, and they're in bad shape. They need to be replaced, and we're talking about putting in a fire pit.
Oh, that'll be so much fun.
So that's the first thing. So we're really excited about that. That's going to really spruce up that area.
What's a season at Gear Garden?
Oh, we're probably going to go from April to November, first part of November.
Depending on the weather.
It's all weather, because it's 100% outside. Mm-hmm. So if it's too cold, and someone came to me and they said, well, maybe you could be open on select weekends. I can't do that. I mean, think of it this way. So first of all, product. So you bring in all the beer for that one weekend. Mm-hmm. It doesn't get sold. And then it's got to sit there for 2 or 3 weeks or a month until it gets warm again. It's going to be dated. Mm-hmm. And how do you go to an employee and go, hey, I want you to work really hard for 2 days and then not work at all for 3 weeks and then come back for 1 day and then not for a month? You can't do that.
No.
You can't do that. So it's just, we're closing for the season. It just makes sense.
It makes total sense. Okay, what's a collar replacement?
What do you mean? What's the collar replacement? So the collars are around the green.
Okay.
We had some winter kill this last year, and they're in bad shape. And so we're going to be replacing all of those with the Tahoma, which we've used previously at Scottsdale very successfully.
You're doing that here at Country Club.
At the Country Club.
Okay.
And so we're very pleased with that. It'll interrupt our golf for a little bit, but it's going to create a much better golfing environment.
Okay. So now I know all about collars, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about the driving area.
So with the 2020 plan, we've seen the number of range buckets that we sell has gone from like 10,000 to 50,000. Those aren't the accurate numbers, but mm-hmm. that's about how much of a growth that we've seen. And Highlands is our second busiest driving range, and we only have grass hitting area, and it's just getting chewed up. Mm-hmm. So we're going to add a concrete area with mats and so forth in the back, so we can keep them on the grass sometimes, but we're going to have to put them on the mats every once in a while because the grass can only take so much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. That sounds really wonderful. And I think you're going to do some work also in the golf courses for the cart paths.
Yeah, we have some areas that really need a lot of work. The cart paths have degraded or roots have come in and messed them up. And so we're going to be doing cart path work at Metfield, Kingsdale, and Highlands. Mm-hmm. And all of them need work really badly.
Okay. Everybody's favorite, pickleball courts.
Pickleball courts. So you know that we have, fairly soon we'll have 6 courses on the west side at Branchwood. The 2 are almost done. They'll probably be done in a short amount of time. And we have 3 on the east side at Metfield, but they're not in the best of shape and they're not oriented the correct way. So you hit the ball, you look straight up into the sun and so forth, and that's not good. So we're actually going to reorient them and resurface the area, and we're going to go from 3 courts to 4 courts. So we'll have a total of 10 courts in our community.
Can you play pickleball in the winter? I guess you could if the weather wasn't too bad.
Well, if it's warm enough, yeah. So that's going to be the demand for pickleball is very high. So with 10 courts, we should be doing pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds like it to me. Well, and then another new fun thing, you need another pontoon boat.
Yeah, since we took over the marina a couple of years ago, the rental business is just continuing to go through the roof. And so we need another one. Mm-hmm. And so we can rent it more. Mm-hmm. So we're really happy about that. And for our membership, it's so inexpensive to rent a boat. Mm-hmm. I mean, why own one?
Exactly. All the maintenance.
Well, you know what a boat stands for. Bring out another 1,000.
Every time, right?
Oh, yeah. Every time it breaks down, it'd bring out another 1,000.
Okay. That's kind of like owning a Mercedes. Yeah, absolutely. I totally get it. But I hadn't heard that before. Also, you were talking about, I think a little known sport or recreation here, at least in my mind, I don't think of it much, but it's really big here, the tennis courts.
Yeah, our tennis is very busy. We have a lot of leagues that play and so forth. So in 18, we have 8 courts, and in 18, we redid 2 of them. And the plan was to do 2 every single year to get all 8 done. Mm-hmm. Well, in 19, the fire hit, and 20, we were still recovering, and so we're getting back to it. So we want to do 2 courts in 22, mm-hmm. 2 more. That'll bring us to at least half of them will be done. But it's not a cheap job.
No.
It's a complete redo. These are very old courts. It's $175,000 just for 2 courts. It's a lot of money, but hopefully we can get back on that. Let's do 2 courts a year.
So the courts are all at Reardon? No.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Kingsdale, which is across from Reardon. Yes.
Yeah, to me, yeah. Okay. I just think of Reardon, and then over there's that's the tennis courts.
Well, it's the Kingsdale Tennis Center, but it's right next to Reardon. So
okay. Well,
Reardon works for me.
All right. That'll work too. Another thing that I personally think is really going to be fun, and hopefully it solves the problem with losing your fish when it floods. So tell us about that.
So when Rick Eccles got here, we started using some of the ponds at Birksdale as a hatchery to grow our own fish. Unfortunately, those ponds, when it floods, all those fish get swept away.
Yeah.
And it's been every other year. One year it'll work, the next year we'll have a flood, and then it'll work, and then it'll flood. And every time it floods, you got to look at Rick, and he's despondent and upset. And rightly so. He's him and his team put all this effort into it, and
yeah. So the location of these new ponds?
Well, it's gonna be at Loch Lomond. So if you've ever walked around Loch Lomond, it's a very nice. It's kind of a short but relatively flat walk. And if you're looking at the dam that comes down, there's that trail, and the stream is going to be right in that section. That area does not flood, which is great. It's got space enough for 5 ponds, so we could actually have different species of fish being harvested, grown. So Rick and his team are really excited about having 2 ponds to start with. They did some test pits. The water did not hold, so we're going to have to line them. But this will be a great thing for the fishing and for enhancing our lakes.
And it doesn't interfere with the walking path. We're still walking around.
Doesn't interfere with the walking path. Doesn't interfere with the dam, because we don't want to impair the integrity of the dam in any way.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about this.
Well, as a master naturalist, I'm kind of excited about that area out there not being just lawn. You're putting nature back where it belongs. And those ponds are good things, because not only fish, you're going to attract birds, you're going to attract pollinators. So it's just giving back to what Bella Vista is all about, in my opinion.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Okay. Are we going to have a happy Thanksgiving?
I think so.
Are you enjoying your time with family?
Yeah, so we're going to be heading to the in-laws, which is good.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go back down to Dallas and spend some time with our family there. I just got reconnected or reintroduced to hockey, and boy, am I a fan. We're going to, I know. I like the fights. Sorry, that's what I like.
The Dallas Stars.
No, this is the Allen Americans. This is a smaller team.
Okay.
It's not the big guys.
Oh.
But they still have nice little squabbles, and I like to watch that. I know.
Outstanding.
I know. Well, hey, Tom, anything else you'd like to say before we bring on our next guest?
No, I appreciate your time. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
And you the same. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'd now like to introduce you to a really cool lady. Her name is Whitney Stone, and she is the Lake Point restaurant manager.
Yep.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
So glad you're here.
Good to be here.
Yeah. So tell us about you. Where'd you come from? What's going on?
Born and raised Pittsburgh, Kansas. Started in the restaurant industry at 16 as a host and kind of just worked my way up, and have always been in the industry, from host, server, bartender, manager, even did some back of house stuff, although I do love the front of house.
Yes. And you're very good at it, by the way.
Thank you.
You've got a great staff over there.
Yes, very good staff.
Yeah.
Abby at the bar, all the serving girls, our sweet little hosts and food runners. Yep.
They are. I guess I just don't understand all of that anymore. It's very efficient the way things work, but if somebody takes your order and then somebody else brings your food.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a very long walkway to the kitchen at Lake Point.
Yes.
So to keep the servers out there taking care of the guests, having somebody bring the food out helps.
Yeah. And you get to meet more people that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's new or fun at Lake Point?
Lunches on Friday.
Yes.
Yes. So starting a couple months ago, we started opening on Fridays for lunch from 11 to 2. And Chef Josh put together a great menu for it.
It's different.
It's
a whole
different.
new
Yep.
lunch menu.
Fish tacos, grilled artichokes, roasted beet salad, lots of new things on the menu. And it's just been great. It's been received well, and we get busier every week.
And it's in the tasting room.
It is in the tasting room.
Okay.
Yep.
So I noticed we don't even go through the regular doors. We just come back to the tasting room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I personally have experienced it, so I know it's great, and I just think it's a wonderful thing you do. Now, I heard we were bragging on you earlier. Did you notice?
Yes.
That was a very thoughtful thing you did for the veterans.
Yeah. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
A couple of them came in about, 5 minutes apart, and it just seemed like we should do that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your whole staff, all of you there, are very welcoming, and you make somebody feel good when you walk in the door.
Thanks.
So, okay, let's talk about Thanksgiving, because I know we have an announcement in particular to make. So, Lake Point Thanksgiving, let's do that first.
Okay, Lake Point Thanksgiving, 11 to 2 o'clock. Reservations. And then we also have BV Bar and Grill Thanksgiving, their buffet from 3 to 6 o'clock being moved to Lake Point to accommodate everybody.
So two
Thanksgiving
meals.
Yes.
And are they, one for Lake Point.
Yep.
During the noon hour. And let's say again, BV Bar and Grill, instead of being here, will be at Lake Point from
3 to 6 o'clock.
3 to 6. Is it a set menu, buffet?
It is a buffet.
Okay, good.
And with BV being moved to Lake Point, it will still be the same price, the same food, same staff, just different location.
Oh, you needed more room.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
That is a very good thing.
Well, that is fabulous. So I understand that you're full. You're totally booked for both events.
Both events are completely booked.
Okay. So should have gotten your reservation in a little earlier, I guess, if you wanted to come.
Yes.
But we're really glad you're going to be there. Very glad. Well, anything else you'd like to say before we sign off? You'll have to come back sometime later on in the year.
Yeah.
I think Lisa's going to do a big February wedding thing.
She
out
does.
there.
Yes. Yep.
So
she's been busy planning that.
Yeah. So maybe when we get closer to that, maybe the two of you could come back. Do you help with that as well?
Oh, I love to help with events. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, I don't know where we found you, but we're glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. Hopefully, I'll see you again.
Yes.
I know I'll see you at Lake Point. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, BV. See you next month.